New Zealand is so hypocritical. We're always talking about clean green. Gene technology is the complete opposite. We should actually be getting back to good food that's not stored badly, that's sold as is. And the whole thing is rubbish. For example, my daughter is celiac, and so are all the countries that had gene-modified wheat. Like, hey, is that a coincidence? I don't think so. It's because it's no longer just a natural, pure product. And I think it will completely damage New Zealand's reputation, and it should be kept in some overseas lab.
So why did you feel it's important to organise or get people here today?
Well, it started off with Callum from Honesty saying, how are we going to get the word out? We thought, well, hey, how about 9 easy steps how to organise a protest? And then we discovered that we didn't have one here in Wellington. So this is what I ended up doing, and it's quite straightforward how to organise, how to stage a protest. Not really a protest, but just engage people. And we've got these fantastic little flyers with awesome information on them, and a QR code, and goes to the website and various other information that you need to do. And it was just important to have a presence to come here and to spread the word. We've had people on the street holding up signs. We've got huge, incredible support from people driving past. That's been crazy with the tooting. And then people walking down on the boulevard, on the seaside here. We've had people holding up signs and putting out, giving out flyers there. So even if there wasn't a huge crowd here, we had about 90 to 100 people, which is not bad. The word that we've spread, I expect to magnify quadruple, I hope. Some of our posts have reached 700,000 people, which is brilliant.
We're in Wellington today at a protest against the Gene Technology Bill. It's part of a nationwide protest organised by Honesty. What we're going to do is talk to a few people about what they think about the bill. What's your opinion of the Gene Technology Bill?
It's like letting the genie out of the bottle. You never put it back in again. That's the problem. We got the laws to cover the laboratory type stuff, and all that. They're all there. We don't need any more. This is just going to let GE out everywhere and destroy us.
Right.
Ultimately.
I'm worried about the organic farmers, because if just one little microorganism goes on the wind, and you know what our winds are like, I'm from Christchurch actually, just a microorganism, if it gets into food that's exported and the exportee overseas tests that food and finds that microorganism, that whole person who made that crop or whatever, they don't get their money.
Number one thing is currently we've got National Act are pushing the bill, and New Zealand First is holding the line. Labour and Greens, they don't want it, but they've been silent. So that says to me that actually, where are the Greens? 2003, they led the charge for the GE to stop the GE bill. Where are they? Do they even represent anything environmental anymore? It's kind of disgusting. And people need to actually recognise that these parties that they form these solid alliances with, they're throwing them under the bus.
I think that this bill needs to be stopped. The biggest problem I see with GE is that they use it to make the foods more resistant against glyphosate, and glyphosate makes us more sick, so it should be stopped.
Yeah. What should people do about this?
What should people do about this? Technically, we need to stop the government from introducing this bill.
All right. Thanks, Kai.
I try to keep it in 30 seconds.
Okay, so the Gene Technology Bill would loosen rules on genetic modification of plants, animals and human cells. And the government says it will modernise our outdated regulations and it'll help us stay competitive with other countries. But critics say that the change will damage our export markets, and genetically engineered crops will contaminate non-GE farms, and also there'll be no compulsory labelling of GE food. So what's your opinion of the bill?
Well, I've been following this whole issue around genetically modified food for decades now. And, familiar with the whole Monsanto thing with them providing seeds that are resistant to the Roundup and all that kind of thing. And I think it's absolute bullshit. We should not be allowing these types of things to be created in this country, and it will affect our export market. We know this. We already have outside exporters saying, giving a side eye that if you go ahead with this, then we're going to have to consider whether or not we accept food from this country. And it won't matter if it's just one producer or a lot of producers. Just one producer is probably enough to trigger that kind of response from them. So, I don't agree with it.
Without genetic modification, you wouldn't have fruit that you can really eat. The stones would be so huge, you wouldn't get anything. So I think it was necessary, but I think now we have enough, and especially with animals and things and humans, you don't know where the line is. I think as a whole, I'm against genetic modification. So yeah, I wouldn't want a bill like that to pass in my country. But yeah, if it increases food availability, I guess I don't think it's necessary here, but if you're exporting over to developing countries, then maybe it's helpful. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know anything about the bill, so I can't really give much of a perspective, but yeah.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah.
No, that's a valid perspective.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah. No, that's right. I mean, I think maybe some genetic modification has been good, but where do you draw the line? Yeah. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well,
Thanks very much.
Safe travels.
I'm actually brought up on a farm, so I'm more of, everything should be, it's natural. The more things that you start adding to soils, as that farmers have a lot of problems with these days, the more issues you have with vegetables and fruit and animals. The sicknesses that animal has now, they're bad enough, and there's a lot of farmers that are actually using non-antibiotic solutions to fix them, opposed to pumping them full of different antibiotics. So doesn't sound like a great idea, if I'm being honest.
I work in primary healthcare, and it's bad because we are now seeing really complex, multiple health issues related to things like glycophosphates, Roundups, microplastics in food. So anything that interrupts, the natural whole food grown in proper soil is very bad for us working in the health field. And for me personally, I want to eat the purest food I can, and we have seen this happen over time with obviously the way our health has deteriorated, I think, since we were primarily a farming type nation that grew proper food.
Yeah, the fact that a lot of countries are already trying to ban the GE in genetic engineering says something as well. So was it up to 70 something countries are trying to ban it? So why is New Zealand not continuing our clean green image? We're meant to be looking after what goes into our bodies, and we're known for the exports to have clean products, clean food. So yeah, it's really concerning. And if you want to think about not just now, but our future generations, once it's done, it's very hard to reverse it. So yeah,
It's going to have on the next generation.
Yeah.
It's scary having kids in this world.
Yeah. Got to look after them.
Yeah, it's just if they don't really have a choice right now. We're the only voice for a lot of things that go into their bodies. So it might seem very small to most New Zealanders at the moment, but over time, it's because it's so gradual, people won't really notice the effects. But in a year or 5 years, 10 years time, it could be quite devastating, and it'll be a real shame to see generations after us say, why did no one actually put a stop to it? So yeah, there's so many little things that we can do to help stop this, so we've got to speak up.
Yeah, we need to stand up because everything's sliding away.
Yeah.
It's a bit sneaky, actually.
Yeah.
I'll use that word. It's a sneaky way it's happening because we're not always given the opportunity to think about it deeply. And if we can't think deeply, we just get little flip comments here, there and everywhere, and before we know it, we've lost our kind of fundamentals. Yeah.
So I've spent a fair bit of time around the world, and I know there's certain places where they've got big signs up saying, identifying modified crops and bits and pieces. And certainly it's on a local sense, having, particularly in Australia where I'm working at the moment, there is, in those local rural communities, there's some real disharmony for the farmers that are doing it. So I'll be interested to see how that goes here if it does go through.
What sort of disharmony?
Just certain groups of farmers who aren't happy with it, that other farms are doing it, and exactly as you mentioned, the issue around contamination and what it does to local produce, and then when you get certain areas that are specialised in certain fruit and veggies or certain types of animal, what it does to the value of non-modified to modified. So it's the usual story. The actions of a few harm many.
More guest speakers, and during the week, that makes a huge difference. Because my dad wants to make companies, and I'm not really, but
Yeah, you're good. So obviously you're opposed to the gene technology bill. So what's your reason for opposing it?
It's just way too loose. And it's a genie that once it's let out of the bottle, it cannot be put back in. It's as simple as that. Some things are reversible and other things are not. And this is just one of them. So that's my passion for it, is that there's just absolutely no caution. It's just clearly... You're interrupting my interview! Rude. No, it's fantastic. Clearly there's a lot of public support. It's just a lack of public awareness. I think most New Zealanders understand that we need to keep New Zealand pure. It's our unique selling point. It's our unique selling point. It's part of our brand, and we're just going to throw it away and become like everybody else. It's not our culture. We've never seen ourselves as like everybody else. We punch above our weight all the time, and now we're just going to drop our pants basically and let it in, and organic farmers be damned. So no, I don't agree with that. And that's just the food, let alone the medicines. And as Matt said, it's ridiculous that we have to approve it if two other international regulatory bodies have approved it. So we're outsourcing our thinking and our research and our understanding of everything to other parties who are probably captured as well. That's crazy. So we have to kill the bill because it's crazy.
Gary, so what's your opinion of the gene technology bill?
Oh, I think it's potentially disastrous. It could take New Zealand down as a viable country. I have a general principle, and that is that our genes are our God script, and it's something that is shared with every form of life on this planet. And there is a rule that if you look at all great civilizations, religions and so on, there's an overriding rule, and that is man should never be so arrogant as to want to play God in any form. And playing around with your God script, fiddling with it, genetically engineering it, whether it's human, plant or animal genes, by the way, is the foolhardiness of being so arrogant as to think that we can be God.
We need to, if you want to stop this, email New Zealand First. They have the power to stop this bill. It needs to be chucked out. It's not fit for purpose. And so email all of the 8 New Zealand First MPs, send them an email and put the pressure on them so that they know that we are here to actually stop this.
Agreed to modify your seed first reading. What could possibly go wrong? What could possibly be wrong? Between JC and WP, what could possibly go? Politician's ego. What could possibly G E?